This is Patience, and I would like to respond to your discussion board number 3. You highlighted very many important things, and one uplifting thing that I see is that the church is playing a critical role in relation to mental health care, and they are intentional and voluntary, and they have a level of trust with the community whereby if people are suffering with mental illness, they will rely on the church for support, and on religious leaders. That is a strength in itself. I wanted to point out a few things that might be different in my context. In Uganda, we give member care if we are to consider Smith's model, and it is given as counseling to church members. It is general and mainly problem responsive. Like if somebody comes and they have an issue and they are seeking help, then that is where that counseling is given to members. But it lacks the preventive and preparatory elements or empowering elements for missionaries and their families. And in that way, the focus is not intentional, and it could be better if that focus is changed, because then it gives a better quality to the care. And it is also better for the individual, for instance, the missionary and their families that are going out into the field. I also want to give my observation on circle number 2 according to Smith, where we are looking at care and counseling in the body of Christ, in the wider body of Christ. And I am pointing to the fact that when churches are able to recognize that replicating services and competing is not required, as is the case in some communities here where I come from, then it is better, because we can then minister more effectively. Essentially, everybody can utilize the strength of another, so that together we are able to provide better counsel and care in that circle of the body of Christ. I'm looking at the challenge that Smith points out of the wider mission field, where the Christian church may not have enough resources, as you point out, to be able to reach out to the many billions of people that are out there in the world. And my thinking on this is that creating synergies with other organizations, even outside Christian circles, is important to fill in these resource gaps. And where it presents impediments, it's important for the church to recognize that there is a diverse and mixed environment out there, and there are beliefs that may be different and may not be Christian, but there's humility needed and compassion in order to even function more effectively in this circle. Thank you so much for all your thoughts and for sharing your views.